Hello everybody and welcome back to another video of Heroes of the Storm. Today we are continuing our How to Heal series and we've landed upon Morales. Pulling up the list here, you'll see that I have the medic in the sustain healing category, which means she lacks burst healing and she lacks utility. But what she lacks in those two departments, she makes up for in sustained healing. In my opinion, Whitemane is the best burst healer in this game, and Lt.Morales is the exact flip of her. She's the best sustained healer in this game. If you need to protect one ally from consistent damage, or your whole team from poke, Medic is excellent at doing that. And that's really how you want to draft her. So if you have heroes like Vala's or typically it has to be a ranged assassin. She's not as good with dive comps because she isn't a great dive healer. There are some healers on this game that are good at it, like Stukov or Deckard, Rhaegar, Karazine. Those are all good dive healers, even Lucio. But Medic is the one that you want to be playing when you need to protect one ally and you kind of are an extension of that ally, making it be that that hero will not die until Medic dies, because her consistent healing on that ally will be immaculate throughout the game. So if the enemy team is drafting some dot damage like a Lunara, Nazeebo, things like that, Medic is an excellent pickup. But within your own team, if you have a hero that needs protected, specifically an auto attacker, ranged assassin, Medic's your pick. Okay, as always in this series, we're going to run into a try mode and show you how all of her abilities work in action, because healers for the most part are the most mechanically intensive healers or heroes in the game. So if you already know how Medic's kit works, just skip forward a minute and I'll be in the game. So I'll see you in try mode. Okay, so we're in the try mode. Now, I did mention that healers are the most mechanically intense role in the game, and that's my personal opinion. And obviously, there are caveats. For instance, Lt.Morales, Lily, those are healers that you don't need to turn your brain on to play. So her kit's very simple. You have your W is called Safeguard. It's a point and click on an ally hero. They will now have 35 armor for 3 seconds. Very simple. Your E, Displacement Grenade. It is a straight line skill shot that you reactivate to boop enemy units away. This can be used to cancel abilities as well. So save this if the enemy team has a Mosh Pit or Holy Word Salvation or any channeled ability that needs to be canceled, or also save it to protect yourself. It's not an ability you want to be spamming out. And then finally, we have Healing Beam. This is the most thinking you have to do when you're playing Morales, is a point and click on a single ally hero to heal them for, at level 20, 377 health per second as long as they are in range. Now, this range is, whenever I hover it, a pretty small range, and if you activate it on an ally, you can see the outline still, but it is actually a bit of a buffer that you can jump in and out of, and it'll still stay on that ally as long as you're jumping in and out of it, so you can kind of run away still. And here, well, I'll just show the whole thing. You can get almost double the range by running away. You'll notice that this consumes energy. That's Lt.Morales' mana. So for her E and for her W, it doesn't consume any energy, but your Q does. Anyways, a very simple, straightforward kit. Press Q, win games. We'll jump to the game and hopefully have some fun. Alrighty, we find ourselves on the Tomb of the Spider Queen today. Gonna talk about our skinergy quickly here. So I love this skin for Medic personally, the Alliance skin. But of course, I realize I have a Dire Wolf, which is known to be for the Horde. But I love the way that Medic looks riding around on the wolf. Blizzard does such a good job with their mount animations and how the heroes look while they're riding on top of them. And I just really like the way that this combo works. So I was trying to convey in the intro about how there's two good team compositions to pick Medic in, and one is if the enemy team has poison, the other is if your team has a high priority target you want to be saving, and we do. We have a Vala. As always, we'll talk about the build and talents at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. We'll go more in depth and detail about that. For now, I need to be picking up life support, and we're going to make sure we have our allies topped off at all times, making sure that we're not getting low on energy. And additionally, positioning as far away as possible. As I was saying, you are meant to be an extension of your ally. One that, as long as you are alive, your ally will be alive too. Or at least that's the in theory. So if you are playing safe, or at least safer than your ally, in theory, that hero shouldn't die. Gonna try to save them with a couple of abilities there. And we're actually able to keep that Kira player alive, despite her playing rather suicidal the first few moments of this game. We're gonna keep our Q deactivated as much as possible, because we're gonna gain a burst of energy whenever it hasn't been activated for a second here. But we also gotta keep our allies at full HP. I mentioned this before, and I will mention it in hopefully every video in this series. If you have the cooldowns and mana to do it, keep your allies at full HP. There is really no reason that your allies should be at less than full HP if you are near them. Trying to grant my Kira player some sort of protections in healing. I should have mentioned this in the intro. I don't think I did when I was describing what our hero does. Gonna use our E to defend, but holy cow, this is tight. But medic heals for 2% of her maximum HP for every second that your Q is on an ally. Gonna try to protect them, and you're playing a lot of dodging on this hero. A whole lot of dodging, because like I said, you are an extension of your team or of your ally. Do whatever you can to save them. I like trauma triggers, and we'll move that far, far away. Maybe grant my allies some armor and top off this Varian player. I'm sure he will like that. There's something I'd like to point out. In this game, there are things called ganks. Ganks are great. They get you so many kills inside of the video game. However, there's something that healers can do that's unique to just healers. They can do what I call a reverse gank, where you go and just heal an ally up to full HP. It costs you nothing but a little bit of time, and it could save them in lane. So if my Varian's getting low, you can watch their health up here in the top left of the screen, and you can be like, okay, I gotta come down here and heal up my allies. And then he's full HP, so he'll be able to avoid any bad rotations that might come his way. I'm gonna try to dodge out any spells that I can that could hurt me. And that's really a big portion of Medic's game plan, is just dodge the enemy's spells. That's all you really have. Also, you'll notice me using my E, displacement grenade, to displace the enemies who are diving on top of my ally heroes. Hopefully we'll be able to protect. Like right here, we booped out, or booped away, the Diablo. And playing as that extension, making sure that my ally Kira can be at full HP. Grant my ally a little bit of armor. I don't know if it actually blocked out any damage there, but regardless, looking nice and healthy. Notice again, my team is at full HP. They're coming in from these rotations at full HP. Holding on to my energy, though, and not using my Q if I don't have to, because whenever you're not using your Q, it's going to be regaining that energy. Because remember, your checks are simple. We'll come down here, and we don't have to. He's full HP. He doesn't need my healing. But your checks are simple. If allies need healing, and you have the capable... oh, no, I messed that up so bad, and that'll cost my ally her life. Yeah, that's unfortunate. If I land my protection, or my boop there, she lives. And we're not able to pick up her gems for her. We'll boot back the Diablo. Unfortunately, my ally just kind of stood near and took the flip of Diablo. Could have ended way worse than it did. I'm really debating on what talent I want here. I think red team's more burst damage, so we're gonna go for the safeguard. Does better whenever it's against an ally hero who is stunned and whatnot. Although Medi-Drone's what I typically go. I'll go over all of this at the end of the game, though. Gonna boop that enemy hero back with this displacement grenade, as we do not want to be losing our Vala player right before the objective starts here to push in for red team. Whole friendly team is at full HP. We've done a really good job of keeping them nice and healthy as often as possible. I gotta be afraid for both my ally and myself, because we're playing as that extension, which means sooner or later, red team's gonna understand, hey, I shouldn't be focusing down the Vala. I should be focusing down the medic who's actually killing us. I need to be bottom lane because that's where my allies are getting pummeled with damage right now. Take the safe route to maybe get to my ally. We'll ping that we're on our way. Please stay. We can maybe defend more if he wants to stay. We'll grant him some armor. Boot back the Cassia as she goes into her damaging form. And all in all, a solid defense. We lost relatively nothing on the map. Oh gosh, grant some armor for my ally. Boop them back with my E. Continue to keep my healing rolling. I'm going to deactivate it though, as I think I have a small window to gain that energy rate back up. And continue to try to survive. I need to make sure that my ally doesn't get pummeled there. I missed my E, which could cost Follow her life. You can also use your body to tank some damage for your allies. I'm going to have to do my very best to keep her alive. We're activating everything we have there. There's a small boop. Our Q is trying to heal, but we are out of energy, and this is where stuff gets bad when you're out of energy. We're going to start spam pinging it. Spam ping and retreat. That's all I have for you, my friend. Thankfully, no one has died yet, but it's not looking amazing in the current situation of this fight here. Looking to get some sort of boopage done, but a good ability by the enemy will keep them nice and healthy. I'm going to pick up Stim Drone because that's why we picked our hero, remember, is to buff one ally to be super duper strong. A little bit afraid for my allies as red team is invading us. Gonna activate a Stim Drone on top of my allies here. Try to heal up the Varian player. He does fall. Unfortunately, we will boop these enemies back into our Probius, though. We get a nice double kill. Triple kill, in fact. And we're gonna do our very best to keep the rest of them alive. Probius with a massive gank here. He has been doing the Lord's work throughout this game so far. Getting us a whole lot of nice things happening. We'll start to... I was gonna say start to heal my ally. I was hoping it would go and heal her while we capped that, but not quite how it worked out. I have the cooldown to use my Q, but honestly, I should be saving it for right now. I'm going to ping for assistance in the top lane. But I should be saving my Q to get full energy, because as you saw, we started losing that fight earlier whenever I didn't have energy to perform. I mentioned we are an extension of our allies, which sucks because you cannot choose when you want to rotate somewhere. We'll ping the runner away for him. Unfortunately, he ran away from me, which is... never your fault. As the healer, never take the blame for that. If your allies are flaming you, it is their fault for running away. And I mentioned it before, healers are the most selfish role in the game. Especially with Morales, where you got to be playing as that selfish hero. You know, we are trying to protect our allies as being the extension for them. Would love to kill this building if we could. I'm going to actually Stim Drone my ally to give her some movement speed to start to run. And now I am in a little bit of trouble. Looks like we'll be fine, though. Because if you don't know, Stim Drone grants your ally 25 movement speed for the 10 seconds they are stimmed. And it's only on a 70-second cooldown. So if it's going to save your ally from immediate doom, it's worth using it. We'll break out these walls because it grants us a little bit more vision as a team. 1 and 2. Diablo's been a big nuisance by using them. Gonna pick up System Shock, and I'll explain this all at the end. You don't need to know why I'm picking my talents, but basically what it does is it, enemies hit by my E deal less damage. Turn in 16 Spider Butts that we have accumulated, because that is a lot to have on a squishy healer who is got a big target on her back. Looks like red team's trying to turn in as well. We will stop him, but it might have cost our ally his life. Thankfully, with that boop, we barely stopped Diablo from capping it, and our Vala player was able to cap in the top lane, getting us our second Web Weaver and another opportunity to kill Diablo with his nearly 50 Spider Butts in his pocket. Unfortunately, I got to be booking at bottom lane because Varian is in a bad, tricky spot. We get stunned by the Diablo APOC, and our ally is getting pummeled right now, and we are peeled off of him currently. We're just trying to get towards him, but we're not really able to. Here is my Stim Drone on top of the Vala, and friendly team is popping off, getting 1 kill on the Diablo, which might be everything that we need. We're going to activate some armor for my ally, granting her 35 armor, and we're pushing forward. We're going to just push forward and take any brunt force that red team might have to offer on top of us. Doing our very best to get a triple kill. Red team is reduced down to near nothingness with that. Wonderful team fight. I guess our tank did a good job of baiting, if that's what his goal was. And we get the first 3 buildings in the game capped for us. Well done by our ally here. I'm going to activate armor for her because I think Diablo's going to pull her away. I need to get close to her. We're going to dive in deep to try to save her, but unfortunately she ran, once again, allies ran away from us. And we won't be able to get the kill. I could be topping off the variant, but I'd rather have my energy at full before any of that. So, booping that enemy out of his combo, which actually was a nice play that'll help me survive a little bit longer. And maybe one more auto attack will finish off the Diablo player, getting us a nice pick once again. A big level advantage as well. And we're going to start to push in towards this core. Red team's been making me afraid to walk on the map, so we're picking up extended range. Or extended care is technically what it's called. It just increases the range of my Q, allowing me to protect my allies from a safer distance. There are 3 globes that are there that we can pick up. That's kind of cool. We have, or will have, taken all of Red Team's buildings before they have killed any of our major buildings. And Red Team's kind of suffocated right now. It's looking pretty good. You can see our ally with the top damage on the team is the Vala. And she also has 0 deaths because she has been my priority target. All of our care, when push comes to shove, is towards the Vala player. Granted, if there's an opportunity to save our allies, we're definitely going to do that. But for the most part, Vala's been our bread and butter, and Red Team hasn't understood yet that in order to kill the Vala, they must first kill her extension, aka Lt.Morales. Red Team is missing, and it's making me a little bit afraid. I kind of want to check this bush to make sure no one's in it. Looks like we are safe, but that is a long cooldown used for that. We're going to activate... Oh, no. Grant myself armor. Holy cow. How many abilities does this guy have? I can't even walk. Okay. We're going to heal minions. Because if you don't know, healing minions grants you a little bit of healing off that 2% healing. Miraculously, we lived there. That was disgusting. And I didn't like it at all. We heal up our minions. If you don't know, Morales can actually heal minions. And, yeah, miraculously, we lived through that, and we should be able to finish this. I think we got flipped 3 times, and I was stun-locked the whole time, rendered unable to press anything. We'll grant one last stim drone on top of our ally to finish off this core. Well played by the whole friendly team. Just all around a beautiful, beautiful match. Probius clearing the minion waves for us, keeping us safe and healthy. We had the Vala player pummeling them with damage, and when anything bad happened, we were able to support them by keeping them alive. So yeah, really well done by everyone. I don't even know who to give it to. I guess Probius will get it. And we'll go ahead and, like I said, go in depth with the builds that you can go, the different builds and talents available for this hero, and kind of what you want to do. So in today's video in particular, what we went was life support at level 1. What this ability does is, during the first 2 seconds of energy regeneration, healing beam regenerates 100% more energy. So you're kind of in this combo of like heal an ally for a few seconds, then deactivate your heal for, I think it's 5 seconds to let you get that big burst of life support healing, and then heal your ally for 5. So it's kind of like on for 5, off for 5, on for 5, off for 5. And you'll be really good on energy. Additionally, it increases your maximum energy by 10%. Then we move on to Trauma Trigger. Level 4 is Lt.Morales' Save Herself button. So, taking damage below 40% health grants 40 armor for 3 seconds. This effect has a 30-second cooldown. Additionally, and this is the big reason I pick it up, increase the healing provided by your trait from 2% to 4% of Lt.Morales' maximum health. So, if you're healing an ally, or have your Q on any unit, it doesn't have to be an ally, it can also be minions. It'll now heal Lt.Morales for 40, or for, not 40, that would be crazy, for 4% of her maximum health instead of 2 every time it's taking a heal, which is, ends up doubling it and making you feel much more healthy in fights and allows you to take a little bit more punishment. At level 7, we go for Vidanium Plating, which, while an ally affected by Safeguard is stunned or rooted, Safeguard grants an additional 20 armor. Additionally, it increases the duration of Safeguard by 1 second. Because they had the Diablo and Anduin, I was very afraid of their burst damage, and truthfully, the Alarak too, and that's why I spec'd into this talent here. But there are different things you can go. Specifically in this game, I mentioned I was playing a very protect the president with specifically Vala, but had the enemy team have more dot damage or consistent damage that we need to sustain through, then I would have gone for a what's the talent called? Medidrone, which allows you to heal. The ally with Safeguard gets healed for 75% of the healing done to the ally with your Q. So you can heal 2 allies at once, 3 if you count your trait because you're healing yourself, and it's keeping over half your team healed just by pressing Q and W on 2 separate allies. It becomes really strong with Medidrone. I'll explain after I'm done explaining this build. Stim Drone at level 10 because we're Protect the President. I have nothing against Medivac. In fact, I think it's a sleeper ult that in a coordinated team composition is one of the strongest things in the game. I have very fond memories of playing with my brothers in this game where we would go Nazeebo. I say fond, but we're complete jerks for it. We would go Nazeebo, Asmodan, and Lt.Morales, and anytime an objective would spawn, we would go to the furthest lane from it, dump our ults on that building, kill the building. When red team came to rotate towards us, we would then press Medivac, hop in it, and go to the objective, get an objective for free, and red team just wasted a whole 30 seconds rotating from one side of the map to the other, and then back. It was a lot of fun. So, definitely a good talent, but Stim Drone is really strong for that Protect the President. You saw me use it defensively once, offensively quite a few times. It's a really good talent. Then we went for System Shock at level 13. Heroes hit by Displacement Grenade deal 30% less damage for 3 seconds, which with how divey that enemy team comp was, and just in general, I think it's the best pick at this talent tier for the hero you're playing. I talked about it in the White Main build, kind of diving deep into what that healer is and diving into their strengths. Well, I think this one fits Lt.Morales' strengths the most on trying to really protect high priority targets, and she can do that with System Shock quite easily. Extended Care at level 16, channeling Healing Beam on an ally hero for at least 3 seconds, causes them to be healed for a little burst of healing, or not burst of healing, but tick of healing over 3 seconds when Healing Beam ends. So if for whatever reason they get pulled out of your range or leave your range, then they'll continue to get healed for a little bit while you try to recover. Or if you're just trying to heal up your allies and keep your sustained healing rolling throughout multiple allies, it's another great pickup. But the main reason you pick it up is if you, Lt.Morales, are getting pumped on and dived by, I don't know, a Diablo or something. It's making you very difficult for you to survive. Extended Care increases the range of Healing Beam by 30%, which means, remember, Lt.Morales is the extension of your allied team. That extension, or that lifeline that is in the backline, that backline just became further, which means enemy team has to dive deeper into your team, into your defensive line, if they want to kill the lifeline that is keeping the rest of your team alive. And finally, had we made it to level 20 in this particular game, I probably would have gone for Hyperactivity. It is one of the strongest ults in the game, or level 20 upgrades in the game. It reduces the cooldown of Stim Drone from 70 seconds to 35 seconds. Keep in mind, Stim Drone is active for 10 seconds on a hero, which means there's only 25 seconds of downtime on this ultimate upgrade when you pick it up. Additionally, the movement speed bonus is doubled. Goes from 25% movement speed bonus to 50% movement speed bonus, which is faster than mount speed. Absolutely disgusting talent. So that's the Protect the President build. If I would have gone for a different build, it would have been similar if this is more of a sustained healing build with life support at level 1. I like trauma triggers, although I know a lot of people also like cellular reactor. I just personally don't enjoy consuming energy to heal yourself whenever trauma triggers does a good job of preventing burst damage anyway. And there it is, Medidrone. Allies with Safeguard receive 75% of the healing done by Healing Beam on another ally. So if you're wondering if this talent just increased, like if you use your Q and W on the same hero, they won't get healed for that additional 75% from Medidrone. It has to be on a separate ally, which is nice, and it kind of gives Lt.Morales help on healing a dive comp because she can put her healing on a ranged assassin, put her W on a dive hero like Illidan or Genji, and while that hero, Illidan or Genji, is diving in, they're going to be getting healed from you from anywhere on the map as long as they have their safeguard on them, which is a beautiful pickup. And if you do go for the Medi Drone, then you're going to want to be picking up, still, I like System Shock, but you're going to want to be picking up Shield Sequencer. So Safeguard gains a second charge, and it increases its range by 60%, which means you're able to have now 3 allies getting healed from your Q by comboing Shield Sequencer with Medi Drone. And not only that, but the range is more, and if you count Medic's trait, it's 4 allies that are getting healed, which is mwah, chef's kiss. And then to slap it on top, you can either go for any of the ult upgrades, both of them are good, or Hospice Care is a wonderful talent as well that allows you to heal allies who are under 50% HP when... Okay, let me restart. Safeguard grants its target unkillable for 1 second with this level 20 upgrade, Hospice Care. If the target is under 50% maximum health when the unkillable effect ends, they're healed for 80% of their maximum, or 8% of their maximum health. Helps you keep your tanks alive a little bit more. Helps whenever your ally is dying due to poison damage because they're getting that, tick of healing from Hospice Care. And combos really well with the rest of that sustained healing build, which is funny because you'd think the sustained healing build would be speccing into all of your Q talents, but your solo ally healing is speccing into all of your Q talents, and your multi-target healing is speccing into all of your W talents with Medi Drone. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying this How to Heal series. Please let me know if there's anything that you would like to see changed, or if you are just liking it in general. Let me know down in the comments. I read all of them. It might take a couple days for me to get back to them, but I try to reply to every single one of them, as I really do enjoy communicating with my community. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.